We started in 1937 with a special commission charged by the Constitution, our Missouri Constitution, to take care of our fish, forest, and wildlife resources and to try to keep politics out of it. Because we realize that our natural resources are here for everybody. And so it really should be about science and basing those conservation decisions on science for the good of everybody and the resources. And then in 1976, a cool thing happened, and people were so, they valued conservation and our natural resources so much that they changed our Missouri Constitution to dedicate 1/8 of 1% of all sales tax in the state would go for conservation. And that gave us lots of resources that's important to our science. It also allowed us to build facilities like the Runge Nature Center so people can have access easily to conservation and the resources that they need to help do conservation on their own land. So at Runge, we're one of 7 conservation nature centers in the state. And the idea being that people, Missourians, don't have to travel far to get to a nature center, take advantage of all the programs and resources that we have at the nature center. So we started here in 1993. Our nature center opened. And being in the middle of the state, our real focus is about all the different habitats of the state. So in our building, we have different exhibits from, little about all of our main habitats in Missouri. And then when you get out on our trails, the trails are designed to actually put people in those different habitats. For example, you go on some of our trails, you get to some prairies, you'll go through savannas, you'll go through glades, you'll go next to ponds. We have some beautiful forests here, and also a beautiful wet weather stream, which is a really peaceful place to kind of walk along the trail and hear the water. So that's a big part of what we do, is providing those opportunities for people to have an enjoyable experience outdoors. Nature has positive benefits for all of us, even if we don't know it. Everything from the production of vitamin D in our bodies from the sunlight hitting our skin to just reducing stress and anxiety. Research has shown it helps kids do better on tests, it helps them focus better, it can reduce symptoms of ADHD. And so we talk about that, and part of our goal is to provide those experiences for people to have outside. It was actually placed here because of our capital city and being in the center of the state. And the first 5 nature centers, the main nature centers, are in each corner of the state and then one in the middle. So kind of strategically placed in the state. When we first set up, the land was it was almost neglected. It was really grown up in a lot of invasive plants and cedars, and you couldn't even walk through most of it because it was just so overgrown and not managed. So over 30 years we've been spending time restoring those habitats, those natural communities, back to what they would have been in a healthy state in even pre-settlement Missouri. And so then people have an idea and hopefully an appreciation of those different habitats, because you got to have those different habitats to support the variety of plants and animals that we have in the state. The more diversity we have, the stronger those natural communities are. Just like people, with different people from different cultures and backgrounds all contribute their different perspective and contributions to society. That same thing happens in nature. They all kind of work together in their own ways to make it healthy. Runge Nature Center is the building itself has a neat design. It's called a biophilic design. So biophilia is the theory that people naturally have a tendency towards nature and connecting with other living things. And so the building design itself encourages people to get involved with nature. For example, we have some features like natural lighting. Our building, biophilic designs often have natural ventilation. You'll see in our building we have lots of windows with views to nature. Our building is constructed with a lot of wood, so you get that kind of warm, organic feel. And even our landscape, we have berms with native plantings And it's kind of made so that the building kind of fits in the landscape, kind of gets immersed in nature. All these things of the building itself are designed to help people connect with nature on their journey towards appreciation and valuing nature. So we're excited. This year our building is 30 years old, and more importantly, the people here of Runge have worked to connect people with nature for 30 years with our programs or special events or different activities. All these different things, help us connect people with nature in different ways. So this July 15th is our celebration of 30 years of Runge in the community. And so we have a lot of different activities planned for people of all ages. It's for families. We'll have out on our trails, we'll have different learning stations, about 3 of our habitats, prairies, and then also forests, and then also our creek, our stream life. So people can get out on the trails. We always encourage people to get outside. We have those learning stations out on the trails. We have different physical activities, outdoor skills, like we'll have archery at our archery range. We'll have atlatl. People can participate in the very ancient outdoor activity people use for hunting. And then we'll also have an old education car here that the department used back in the 40s and 50s. The people, educators will go out to schools and help teach kids about conservation and our conservation practices. In our auditorium, we'll have musical performances that are nature-based. We've got a Wild Heart, which is music, happy, fun music for families about nature and conservation. It's real upbeat and really engaging with the audience. We'll also have Shortleaf Band, which is a band from the Ozarks, and that music is inspired by the culture of the Ozarks, people tied to the land, and kind of the music of the culture. It kind of tells the story of how people use those natural resources to survive. We'll also have our canine, our dog here, which is actually a working dog for the conservation department, not only to help, help people, help the maybe lost outside. They're excellent trackers. They're also a good ambassador because they go to different schools and events like ours, and of course, people are so attracted to dogs anyway. So that's an immediate connection that we can use. We have different activities in our lobby. We have games and different crafts and things. We'll have some hot dogs and lemonade here for people, and just a family-friendly event to celebrate our birthday and what we've done for 30 years here at Runge. And we just encourage all people to come out, whether you've been here over years, you've brought your kids here, maybe you came as a kid, maybe you've been here many, many times, but also we want to encourage people who've maybe never been here before, because it's a great resource for people. It's a one-stop shop here for people who want to buy hunting and fishing permits, who want to find out about plants they may have in your yard, maybe a tree they want to identify, rocks, sticks, spiders, snakes. That's what we deal with, every day, and helping people understand and appreciate those resources. We have an awesome volunteer team here that really help us do everything that we do, things that I mentioned. And then, so now we have 55 volunteers. You've seen a few here out today, as a matter of fact. And at least three of those have been here since 1993, which is just amazing to me. That dedication, that passion for nature, that they're willing to dedicate that much time. I mean, one of our volunteers has 11,000 hours of volunteer hours, which is over 5 years of full-time work, just completely donated. A lot of our volunteers have over 1,000 hours, and it's humbling to me to see these people so passionate. So yeah, some of them have been here since 93. None of our staff have been here since 93, but we do have a couple that have been here since the mid to late 90s. I started in 1999, actually. So yeah, Runge has been a big part of my life, really. And we work to make it, attractive and appealing. Nature is anyway, but we also make it easier with our trails. 3 of our trails are paved, so it's easy with people who may have trouble getting around. You can take strollers on most of them. And then 2 of our trails are mulch trails, so you get that organic feel, and it's soft, easy to walk, but it's also easy to get around too. Well, yeah, the main thing I want to focus on is the importance of people to realize that we all depend on our natural resources. We all need clean air. We all need clean water. We all need sources of clean food. So much you hear about in the news now is these disasters when some of those things are taken away. Air quality, in our eastern coast. Of course, the drought, almost worldwide. And food shortages and all those things. So at Runge we help people understand that we all depend on these things, no matter what political party you're about or where you're from. It's a universal. It's definitely a universal that we all need. And so we help people appreciate that, whether you're just starting out in the outdoors or you have lots of experience. There's always ways to engage with nature and help other people to do that too. So that's a big part of it, is passing it on to the next generation and future generations, so that we have this, not just for now, but in the future. It's a great investment.